And a lot of people assume that when the vision gets bigger, everything around them is supposed to get louder. But they're trying to do bigger announcements, big conversations, more attention to them. But what I've started realizing is something's a little different. When the vision actually gets bigger, the work usually gets quieter. Take this journey with me. Let's define it. Let's build it. Let's live it together. Welcome back, y'all. It's your boy Kevin B. the Brand, and I'm in a good mood. I'm in a good mood because finally picked up my new car. Needed that situation. Was dealing with a one car situation. For shout out to the wife for holding it down and being trapped in the house while I run around this planet. And then, in bigger news, Jay just announced that he doing a concert. You know what I mean? So catch me in New York City in July, y'all. Uh, yeah, I'm out there both nights. Both nights. Um, but let's get to the show. Welcome back, guys. It's your boy Kevin B the Brand, and it's another week of Dear Legacy. This is gonna be episode 8. We almost at double digits, guys. We're almost at double digits. Thank you for tuning in each and every week and rocking with your boy. It's been 8 episodes. It's just me and you. We're just having these conversations. Eventually, we're gonna open up the doors to some other people. Been having technical difficulties with my diva son, trying to get him to be my first guest before anybody else become guests. So we have it, but we're just working on it. So bear with us, man. Life be life, and sometimes, but we finally got the schedule under control. We put in pen to paper and actually going back to our notes and seeing where we messed up in a day, how we could fix it, how we could get better each and every day, and actually progress every week while we're on this journey together, right? And in this open scribe letter to Dear Legacy, I want to talk about something we don't talk about enough. Um, the work that nobody sees, because that's the work that actually builds everything, right? One thing I've been thinking about lately is how our visions, how our vision, how, better yet, how we vision our lives changes over time, right? When we're younger, the vision might seem as simple and clear as day. But just trying to figure things out, maybe you're focused on getting footing, building something, creating opportunities. But as life moves forward, the vision starts getting bigger. I mean, it should at least, because we've evolved. We're getting bigger, bigger goals, bigger responsibilities, bigger expectations. And a lot of people assume that when the vision gets bigger, everything around them is supposed to get louder. But they're trying to do bigger announcements, big conversations, more attention to them. But what I've started realizing is something's a little different. When the vision actually gets bigger, the work usually gets quieter. Just think about it. Some of the biggest names that we know are the most mysterious. And then the only time we hear about them is when the thing done hit $1 billion or when they've hit multi-millionaire. It's less explaining, less announcing, less trying to convince people of what you're building. We saw it quietly. If you're a whole fan like me, right? We know the dates. We've been watching the social media stuff bubble up, bubble up, bubble up. But Hove ain't never come out and said nothing. He ain't say a whole look at me. His team ain't even saying a whole bunch of look at me. And then boom, today it drops. Announcement. 2-day show, New York City, inside Yankee Stadium. That's how you grab people's attention. You stay in the cut, you stay nice and quiet, and then when it becomes that thing, that's when you announce it. You don't announce it 5, 10, 15 years prior. What if it goes wrong? And even if it doesn't go wrong, why? Why do all that? I know in marketing we like to build up to some momentum to get to where we're at, but when you're that dude, you don't need that momentum. You drop. Because when the vision grows, the responsibility grows with it. And the real responsibility usually requires focus, not noise. The truth is, some of the most important work you'll ever do in your life will happen when nobody's watching. I learned that in the military. I learned that in Best Buy. I learned that in my 9 to 5 right now, working at the university. I learned that in trucking. I learned that in real estate. Anything that I do is when people are not watching, that's when the real work is being done. When there's no applause, no recognition, no validation. Now, granted, those in your closest inner circle, me, my wife, I get the validation, I get the recognition, but she sees the day to day. Y'all don't. And if I'm sitting here trying to chase after your recognition and your validation, like most of us do, we're setting ourselves up. You gotta be able to do it when it's just you. And the commitment you made to the life that you're trying to build. And the bigger the vision becomes, the more comfortable you have to get to doing that quiet work. The discipline, the preparation, the patience. Because real progress doesn't always happen where people can see it. Sometimes the biggest growth that you're going to accomplish is happening behind the scenes, long before anyone sees any of the results, long before they see all the likes, long before the virals. And that's usually the moment when you realize something important. Your vision hasn't actually gotten bigger. Not just in the terms of goals, but it's the terms of responsibility. Because when your vision starts to get bigger, it requires a different version of you. Let's jump into the first segment that I want to talk about. When the vision starts getting bigger, not just in terms of what you want, but in terms of responsibility that comes with it. Vision evolves as life evolves. Every day, the vision is going to change, whether right, wrong, or indifferent, because it has to evolve. You're not the same you was 10 years ago. You're not the same you was last night, because last night you learned something different about yourself. Last night you learned about something different about what you're trying to achieve. So as your thoughts evolve, you're evolving, the vision is evolving. Dear Legacy had this pathway right here. I'm going to do the pod. I'm going to give them me. I'm going to do that for 5 episodes. Then I'm going to bring on the guests. And then I'm going to start doing this. I'm going to start doing that. And it's going to keep going. It already changed. It already changed. And y'all watched it change. Because I told y'all episode 5, I was supposed to have my first guest and then start building off of that. Now we're not doing that. That's now scheduled for episode 10. Hopefully. My son's not a diva anymore. I might have to switch him out. But if all goes life and life stops life, and episode 10 is when you're going to get that. That's 5 episodes later than what I had said and what I originally thought. Then the pathway changed, and we had a storm on Monday. It knocked out our power. I used that to my advantage, and I developed something that I can't wait till I get to you guys for Dear Legacy. Because not only is it going to change my life, it's going to change your life. I promise you that. But that's how the vision evolves. It evolves daily. It evolves weekly, from month to month. But even as it evolves, it's still the same vision. What once felt like a goal becomes a stepping stone sometimes. The responsibilities that you have is going to grow within that vision. You have a responsibility to yourself and to those that's been pouring into you. You have a responsibility for those that came before you and those that are coming behind you. It's a legacy thing. It's not a weekend thing. It's not a viral thing. It's a legacy thing. When you're no longer here, how is it going to last? You begin thinking in longer term as the vision grows. Your decisions start to affect more than just you. The vision becomes less about the achievement and more about the impact that you're doing on a day-to-day basis. Sometimes you don't even notice the shift right away. You just realize you're thinking differently about the future. And it's just simple as that. You start thinking differently. And then now, even with me, in that 1.5 hour, 2 hours that we didn't have no power, I started thinking about, okay, how am I going to change my daily routine to make the better version of me that's talking to you guys about building this legacy? How am I living in that moment? The vision had to change. My daily routine had to change so I could keep showing, because blackout happens, I can't sit down and record. Then life happens, the meetings are already scheduled, and you're trying to now fit this into this perfect little picture that doesn't exist. Just keep going with the vision. Turn the camera on the moment you can. And when that shift happens, something else changes also. The things that changing also is the work gets quieter. That's segment 2. The bigger the vision becomes, the quieter the work usually gets. Let it sit. The bigger it is, the quieter it has to get sometimes. It just has to. Sometimes, and I fell victim to it. Sometimes I like to announce my plans way too prematurely. And then now you feel the pressures of people watching back at you because you put it out there. They didn't pull it out of you. They don't have telepathy. They can't read your brain. They can't read your mind. They see how you move. But when you're announcing yourself, later on, you're going to have to start explaining yourself. That's when the pressure starts to feel. That's when and there's nothing wrong with pressure, y'all. It's not as if somebody's trying to duck and dodge pressure. But it's a different side of pressure when you're trying to build something, when you're trying to accomplish some of your goals, when you're chasing something and you're announcing it, and now people are expecting it, and now you're explaining yourself. You're spending more of your time announcing and explaining, and then when it's not happening, you start feeling bad about yourself. You start tearing down yourself on the inside. You think that you're failing because what? You didn't get the validation? No. You just need to lock in sometimes. Get more focused on the execution. More intentional about the use of time. Time is the most valuable commodity that we have, but yet we give it away so freely. We give it away to scrolling. We give it away to watching TV. And guys, I'm talking to myself. I could get lost on a good scroll for about 20, 30 minutes. Then I'll turn around and go sit down on the couch because I feel a little bit tired. Oh, I just need to watch some mindless TV. You literally called it mindless TV. What are you doing? You say you're chasing after something. You want people to see the same visions that you see. You want people to join the movement, but yet you're watching TV for mindless TV. Come on, man. We could do that on vacation. Do it on vacation. Do it on your time. Do it on the time that you blocked off in your journal and said, all right, this is my me time. Because I accomplished all of this. Oh my God, I checked this off. I checked that out. I'm actually ahead for the week. My me time actually could be my me time. You got to stay disciplined behind the scenes while you're on this journey. Early on, people talk about what they're going to do. Later on, you realize the real work happens when you're not talking about it at all. Some of my best moves that I've made, I never announced until it happened. You look at, again, I'm so excited, and I'm pretty sure there's a movement of whole folks out there that are stupid excited. Yankee Stadium is about to be sold out. That man didn't have to do no major announcements, just one post on social media, and I guarantee you when pre-sales happen, it's going to be sold out already. The real work already happened. Real progress happens in silence. We don't need to do all this loud noise to sell out anything. Part of the reason that the work becomes quieter is because not everyone is going to understand the vision, and you have to realize that. Because not everybody's going to understand it, in segment 3, what we going to talk about? The temptation of explanation to everything. One of the hardest parts about doing quiet work is resisting the temptation to explain everything you're doing. Because you're now doing the part that you're supposed to do. You're moving quietly, right? But you're not seeing the results that you're supposed to be doing. Now you want to go and announce it. You don't want to be quiet anymore because you feel as though, oh, I got it. I'm right here. I've been consistent. I see it. I see it happening. I'm checking off the boxes. You're not there yet. Resist that temptation. because all you're going to do is start explaining yourself. You got to try now sell the vision to somebody else. What'd you do at that part? What'd you do at this? Or are you sure? When I knew this one person, this is how they did it. If I was you, I would do it this way. Well, you're not me. And I don't care how they did it. I could learn from them, but if it wasn't part of my research plan, I don't want to hear it right now. Let me figure this out right here. That's why we stay quiet. See, I get it. The early stages of the vision is going to create excitement. You're going to want to be out there. You're going to want to say, hey, look at what I got going on. Look what I'm doing. That I'm planning on doing this. Why are you doing it? Because you need an attaboy? You need that validation? You need the likes? You need the shares? You need the retweets? Wanting others to understand immediately is not part of the plan. It should, first of all, you should want it to happen naturally anyways. Because when you build it naturally, I promise you, you could have 100 followers and be a millionaire with whatever you're trying to do off of that same 100. Because out of that 100, there's going to be 10 of them that's going to buy VIP packages. There's going to be 10 more that's going to do platinum packages. There's going to be another 30 to 40 that's just going to purchase whatever you're putting out there. And then someone's just going to give you the natural follows and likes. And then from there, you're going to go out there and say, hey, this is what I do. This is the community that I done built. And how am I going to monetize that? And when I monetize this, how am I going to pour it back into my audience where they're gaining from it? Sometimes learning that everything doesn't need an audience. Not right away. Be your own audience. Be an audience of one. Then take 1 to 2, 2 to 5, 5 to 10, 10 to 100, 100 to 100,000. It's a marathon, not a sprint. And when you're not sitting there trying to explain yourself day in and day out or every other week, when you're explaining yourself and people are not seeing what you're trying to put out there, you know how demoralizing that is? How easy it's going to be for you to quit? Because if the person that you're trusting to tell this to, they don't understand it, how is the next 100 people going to understand it? Am I doing it right? Am I not doing it right? You see how you could go down a spiral? Protect your focus and your energy. By protecting it is sometimes you just got to move quiet. Sometimes explaining your vision too early invites the opinions that weren't meant to shape the vision in the first place. You're talking about you tell the wrong people too early. It could have a catastrophic effect. And something that could have been $1 billion idea or a great executed plan is not going to come to fruition. And it's going to end up in a cemetery, not as your legacy. I've talked about this before on the thought of the day, and we've seen the quotes. Some of the biggest dreams and aspirations and visions and goals are laying in a cemetery. And a lot of us, we let the opinion of others dictate what we're going to do. Not every step of your vision needs to be announced. And when you stop explaining everything, you also start to realize something else. Not everyone will understand. One of the realities of having a bigger vision is that everybody around you will not understand it. People often see the results, not the preparation. They don't see when you sit there with your notebooks, and they don't see when you're blocking off time. They don't see when you're sacrificing not going to this thing, when you're sacrificing time with your family, when you're all the sacrifices that you put in. They don't see all that. They don't see that the 45 minutes that they watching took about 3 hours preparing for. The vision is going to require patience along the way. The patience that others are not going to see. Some people interpret quiet focus as a distance. You know why? Because they don't understand what you're trying to do. But it's yours, your vision, your thought process. So excuse me for being distanced for a little bit, because I got to stay focused. Because I can't explain every little goal that I'm going to do. It's me. It's mine. It came. God blessed me with this thought process for me, and probably another 100 of me's, right? But I'm gonna execute it how I want to execute it. The number 20 on the list that has the same vision is gonna execute it how he wants to execute it. Learning to stay committed without universal support is big time. It's big time. Because sometimes people only understand the vision once the results actually show up. Some visions aren't meant to be explained later. And when the vision grows, it doesn't just bring opportunity, it brings responsibility. And with that responsibility, sometimes this segment right here, the loneliness of the vision. Sometimes having a bigger vision can feel a little lonely, a lot lonely, damn near on an island by yourself. You done climbed to a mountaintop and you're just standing there, all by your lonesome. But that's what it comes down to. You sacrifice to get there. You sacrifice to be the one. Few people gonna understand that type of direction. Different priorities happen for different people. They're gonna prioritize what they want to prioritize. You just got to know what you're willing to prioritize and how it aligns with the vision that you said that you're trying to build, the legacy that you're going to be leaving behind or living in the moment. It all goes back to when we defined it early on. That's what dear legacy is. Define it, build it, live it in real time. Patience during these early stages are so crucial, guys. So crucial. And you have to learn to trust your own clarity. It's yours. God gave it to you. God, ChatGPT, your spouse, the person on the corner, the when you got angry standing in line about something, that vision came to you. For whatever reason it came to you. Whether it's for you to start it and move the boulder for somebody else to pick it up, or for you to start it, fail, and somebody else was watching and then they pick it up. You know what I mean? Like, we don't know why the vision was given to you, but it's yours. Take the responsibility and grow with it. Vision is sometimes going to separate you from environments that once felt comfortable. The comforts of home sometimes is not meant for you. Sometimes you got to go stand outside on that chilly day. That's what, I was born in the 80s, raised in the 90s. We all know how hustlers used to go out there and go get it. Rain don't matter. Cold don't matter. Dark don't matter. Parties, not for me. I got to go get it. Not everyone is meant to see the vision at the same time as you. Just leave them. That don't mean they're not supporting you. That don't mean they're haters. That's not what I'm saying here. They're just their level of thinking, their level of vision is not seeing yours clearly. It's okay. You'll see it. Let me go put in this quiet work over here, and I'm gonna show you. Right, wrong, and different. Whether I succeed, whether I fail, I'm gonna show you. Because remember, there's no such thing as failure. It's a lesson. We either learned that this is not for us, we learned how to fix it, we learned how to succeed in it. But even when the journey feels quiet or lonely, the responsibility of that vision still remains. Whether you got 100 people at the top of the mountain with you, or standing outside with you in the freezing cold, or whether it's just you standing there by yourself, the vision still remains the same. The responsibility of the bigger vision is the next segment. Because bigger vision isn't just exciting, it's heavy. It brings responsibility. It brings burdens. It brings you to shoulder things that you did not think that you was going to shoulder. But buck up, man. Go do some Arnolds. Go do some shoulder presses and keep going. The higher the expectations, the more accountability you're going to have. That's what being a leader is. That's what being the first is. Some of us are first generation. We have to go build that legacy. The first dot is behind their legacy probably didn't set it up perfectly. They either didn't know, or they was put in situations that you get to now benefit and reap. Like the way I was brought up versus how Caden is brought up and how his kids are gonna be brought up. That's three different generations that got totally different lives of being raised. But that's the leadership responsibilities that I chose to take on. And if you're watching this, if you're following us, if you're part of this movement, that's the part of the responsibility that you chose. You wanted to be that leader, whether you wanted to or not, because sometimes you don't even have a choice. It's just thrust upon you. Sink or swim. Tie up them Timbs, boy. Let's go get it. Because the decisions that you're about to make right now in this journey, in this process, every time in the morning when you wake up and you're journaling and you're checking what's going on for the day, and you did your meditation, you went to the gym and you started your work, whether it be a 9 to 5 or you're doing the media content creation, whatever it is, that decision that you just made is going to affect not just you. It's putting a ripple into time that you will probably never see. You'll be seeing at the right hand of your Lord and Savior, looking down and hope to God that the ripple that you created today, 20 years from now, 30 years from now, 60 years from now, was not for naught, or not for the worse. The need for discipline is going to increase while you're on this journey. You become even more aware of the example that you're setting while you're doing this. Because that's the responsibility. That's the stuff that you're shouldering. That's a true leader. Being aware of the moment, being aware of the situation, being aware of who's watching, and being aware of the examples that you're setting. The bigger the vision gets, the more intentional you have to be in how you move. Opportunity is going to grow with the responsibility. And carrying that responsibility requires something most people underestimate: protecting the vision. Let's jump into that. Protecting the vision. Because when the vision gets bigger, you also have to realize that it needs to be protected. You got to protect your time. You got to protect your focus. You got to protect your energy. You got to protect the standards that you set. Not every opportunity along this journey is going to align with the vision. I think some of us, while we're on this, right, we're so quick to be like, oh my God, I got it. I built it to where it's supposed to be. Now I gotta go get sponsorships. I gotta go do this. I gotta go do that, because it's chill the fuck out. Because some people that's gonna be ready and willing to offer you something might not align with what you're trying to do. Don't fall into those traps. You have to, when I say protecting your time, there's going to be a lot of people now trying to get at you. They want to set meetings with you. They want to jump on your pod. They want to collaborate with you on social media. They want you to come over here. They want you to travel to this state and come do this speaking, come do that, come do it. Is it aligning? You're giving away your time, your best commodity that you have. But in doing so, how is it affecting? How is it aligning with the vision that you said that you have? Got to protect that time. Your focus. While they're pulling at you, while they're emailing, while they're doing this and they're sending all that, are you still focused on that vision? Because when you get to the level that you say that you want to get at, you would want to assume that you're going to build out your team to buy back some of your time. But that doesn't mean you lose focus. You just created even more responsibility for yourself, because now you have a whole team of people that's relying on you to stay focused, to not give away all your time. Keep your energy, because not for nothing, we're going to have low energy days. We're going to have high energy days. We're going to have days where our energy is on some fuck it, I'm done. But if you already set the standard, if you're protecting your time, if you're protecting your focus and your energy, you can't lose. Because if those things are being protected Anything that you do along the way is going to align with the vision or be a subset to the vision. Everything is a spawn, is going to spider off of the vision. But you set the standard, you set the tone. Sometimes growth isn't just about what you add to your life. It's also about what you decide to protect. You ever heard the saying, you add by subtraction? You add by subtraction because you're protecting the thing that you're trying to do. Everything starts at the top of the spear. Everything meaningful in the vision that you're trying to do requires boundaries. Everything requires boundaries. Some are gonna say that you changed. Some are gonna say, oh, you done switched it up on us. In reality, did we do this thing to stay the same? If you did it to stay the same, then cool. Kudos to you, you win. I ain't doing this shit to stay the same. I'm doing it to grow and to set up a stage for other people to grow in. I'm doing it for my son. I'm doing it for my wife. I'm doing it for my son's kids. So there's no way I'm doing this shit to stay the same. Hell to the no. I'd be fucking lying to y'all if I said I'm doing all this shit to stay the same me. No. Absolutely not. Can't be. If I'm trying to be the same, then this vision is not clear. I need to go back to the drawing board. Open up the journal. I gotta figure this out. Because the vision's wrong. Now, am I gonna be the same Kevin? The personality, the goofy, mysterious, the mean a-hole? Yeah. Come on now. That don't change, baby. If anything, you know what I mean, you're probably gonna get a bigger a-hole. You know, I'm mean. Come on, I'm that dude. But know who you are and know what the vision is. It's part of the vision. You might call it me being an a-hole. You might call it me being switched up. But I'm protecting my shit. There's only two people that I care their opinions about: Tiffany Bartholomew and Kaden Bartholomew. Other than that, I love y'all, but I don't give a fuck. I don't. But that's me protecting what I'm trying to build at the same time. Because if I care about every last person, if I care about every last opinion, then I'm never going to get to where I'm trying to get to. Because when I'm caring, I'm gonna give myself into y'all. I'm gonna give myself into that thing. I'm gonna give myself into that, and then now I'm losing my focus, and my energy is gonna be wrong when I have to sit down. You're not gonna believe in anything that I'm saying, and we're not gonna just move it into the next level that it needs to be at. It's just simple as that. That's how you got to protect yourself. And if those that don't agree with it, it's okay. I'll catch you in a few years. Because when the vision becomes where it's going to be, I know you're going to come back. I know you're going to come back. It is what it is. What human nature is, you leaving me now because you think that I'm this. But the moment you see me up, hey, what's up? Hey, what's up? Come on. I'm going to take you with me. Because I didn't mean to leave you. I just had to at the moment so I could get to the vision. I'm building something that's bigger than me. It ain't about me. Protecting that vision usually leads to something most people overlook: the quiet discipline. The quiet work is where the real growth happens. I told y'all, I needed to figure out my new daily routine, right? I journal, I notebook, I chicken scratch on papers all over the place. I mean, I have notes in my phones in my eye. Thank God for the cloud, because I could put it in my phone and it'll be on my desktop, it'll be on my iPad, and it'll be on my laptop. So a lot of my thoughts are still centralized. But nothing's better than a good notebook, a pen to write it down. Because as you're writing it down, you're actually committing to something, right? You could go back and check on it. Because I'm not going to lie to y'all. I could put a bunch of shit in my phone all day, every day. Don't mean I'm going back to it. But in that notebook, it's hard not to go back to it because you're flipping the pages like, what is that? What the heck was I talking? Oh, okay. When you go to the journal, The journal, you have blocked out time. You have tasks that you want to accomplish for that day, and that those tasks and goals is gonna set you up for how you're gonna finish the week. And at the end of the week, you're sitting there looking like, okay, what did I accomplish? When it's in the phone and the iPad, you could easily overlook that. But when you get to that page and it's at day 7, Saturday night, what did we accomplish? How are we gonna fix it for Sunday? How did this build towards the legacy? Boy, that's a different type of accountability. And not only that, it forces you to be consistent over time. I don't care what anybody says. When you writing it down, when you're penciling it, when you're journaling it, when you're writing your thoughts, this is why Dear Legacy is an open letter. It's not a open email. How many emails you get in your inbox in a day? Whether it be important, whether it be junk. And if you're me, well, let me tell you, I'll open up an email just to get rid of the notification and say that's a Monday problem. Then Monday comes around and I'm looking at it on Wednesday. I'm like, oh shit, I never responded to that. But you can't do that in a notebook. You can't do that in a journal. This is how we hold ourselves accountable for certain things. This is how we get consistency over time. This is how you develop and learn how to prepare. Because when you sit at nighttime and you write out Sunday, you writing out the week. And then Monday, you write down, okay, this is what I'm going to do today. This is what's going to happen on Tuesday. That's going to happen on Wednesday. Doesn't mean you're always going to hit every single task. No. But you're preparing. Okay, I didn't hit those. What made me not hit those? All right, let me shift it over to Tuesday because this wasn't as important. So I'm going to move that down and I'll move this up. Boy, you changing your life right there. 15 minutes in the morning, 15 minutes at night changes your life drastically. That becomes part of your routine. That's how you get consistent and that's how you learn to prepare for certain things. Doing the work that nobody applauds. In a day in life of social media where you're not getting the likes, you're not getting the views, and when you go out there, you can't even get the applause. Sheesh. You want me to stay quiet? Kev, that's a lot. I want people to see what I'm doing. I want people to look at me. I'm the dude, I'm the guy. Please, can I say something? No. Stay quiet. Let the real growth happen. It shows more about yourself when you really think about it. You're developing the strong habits that's going to support your long-term goals. Discipline is often invisible, but it's the results. They're so undeniable, boy. Nobody could question it. You don't have to explain yourself because the discipline part that happened behind the scenes that nobody saw and it gave you these undeniable results. You still protecting your time. You're still protecting your peace. You're still protecting your energy. Why? Because you don't have to explain anything. It's already there. The fruit is in the work right there. Like, look at it. It is what it is. I don't have to explain it no more. You see it. The work nobody sees is usually the work that builds everything. And the bigger the vision becomes, the more patience and process it requires. Patience in the process. Let's talk about it. One of the biggest lessons that come with a bigger vision is patience. Through this whole thing of building, protecting this energy, who we're doing it for, who we're not doing it for, people to cut off and not cut off. Patience. Boy, let me tell you, you might as well tie that into time. Because if you want the microwavable version or do you want the oven version? Because with the oven, you got to have patience, boy. Just think about it. When grandma was cooking on Sunday mornings, and it's taking about 3-4 hours, and you're like hungry, dog tired, and you know if it hits a certain point, you got to go to church, and now you're eating after church. But boy, was it worth it, though? Wasn't it worth it? Rather than popping something in the microwave, you ate it. It's okay. It's cool. It got the job done. I'm not dog hungry anymore. But if you just had that little bit of patience, if you had a little bit of discipline, if you had that wherewithal and just waited a little bit for the oven joint, Boy, that oven joint come out and you sit on that couch, you unbuckling that pants, boy. You could relax now. That's the meaningful work. The meaningful work takes time. Progress ain't always gonna be visible, man. I'm telling you. The timeline is often longer than expected. It's never shorter than expected. That's for sure. I don't know what person that's gone on the journey that said it was shorter than expected, and I won. I succeeded. I don't, if you know of them, man, kudos to them. But the timeline is often always longer than expected. Staying committed during the quiet seasons. Oof, that commitment piece. When we're not getting what we want out of it, and we believe in the vision, but it's still not coming to fruition. There's still roadblocks. We're still stumbling. There's still not the views. There's not the applause. But we still gotta stay committed. Still gotta turn the camera on. Still gotta check the levels on the mic. Still gotta prepare the hour and a half before. Still gotta actually come up with some shit that people want to listen to, right? Trusting the process, man. We'll, and I'm not talking about the Philly process, because we all know that process it's sort of working out now. But how long did it take for them to get there? And they still the second round team, and we see them sliding right now. But you still got to trust in the process while you continue to grow, even if you're Philly. A lot of people don't account for how long it takes to actually build something meaningful. Legacy timelines are longer than most people realize. Remember, I told you in episode 1, it's 3 generations. You're working for the generation before you, you're working for the generation behind you, and you're working in your current generation. 3. That's why there's 3 dots behind their legacy. I don't think we realize how much of a linear pathway that is. 3 generations worth. Some of us on this are the generation that we're working on, we're correcting from the previous generation. And while you're building that vision, something else is still brewing at the same time. Who you become while you're building this. I done told you you're gonna lose people along the way, because they're gonna say you done change and all of this stuff. You're sacrificing this. You're journaling. You're protecting your peace. You're protecting your energy. So much little things are happening along the way while you're building this vision. But you know what else is changing all at the same time? You. For the good, depends what your vision is. For the bad, it depends who you're asking. But clarity is one thing that only you could decide. You decide if what you're doing and how it's shaping you is worth it. Personal growth through this whole process of leadership, responsibility, shouldering the burden, taking on multiple legacies, reshaping the past and taking it on for the future. The people that you say that you're doing it for. See, maturity is going to bring you a clearer perspective. Learning patience and discipline is changing you every time. And you guys hear me from episode 1. I talk about writing down your thoughts and your ideas and your visions. Well, it's true. It changes you, because we could go back and see where we fell short, where we succeeded, and then we could question it. We could literally question it. And when we question it, we're not questioning it just to come down on ourselves. We're questioning it to see, okay, how do we fix it? Then when you learn how to fix it, baby, you now just change yourself. You just added to your tool bag. You're getting better. You're becoming more intentional with your decisions. And when you're doing that, you're developing a character through the process. It's your vision. You can't be wrong per se, but you are going to change along the way. Sometimes the biggest transformation isn't the success that you're going to achieve. It's the person that you become along the way. right? We know what we're trying to achieve. We're going to be successful. But along the way, the person that you become, that's an amazing transformation along the way by little steps of making this vision a little bit more clearer. Little steps by making you achieve what you're trying to do, building your legacy, defining it from the onset, building it in real time, living it in real time. Because legacy isn't about what you leave behind. I done told y'all that. It's how we live in the moment. The vision you're building is also building you at the same time. Embrace it. Fall into it. Let it change you. Let it change you. Let it change your mindset. Let it create that patience and that discipline, that consistency. Because while you're doing all this, you too are changing. It's shaping your discipline. It's shaping your patience. It's shaping your perspective. And at the same point, you realize the quiet work isn't about the goal. It's about the person you're becoming along the way. So let's start to wrap this up. Let me flip it back on you for a minute. I started doing this last week, and I kind of like it because it's our little do-si-do that we're going to play together, right? Because it's easy to talk about the vision when we're listening to somebody else's story. When we're listening to somebody else talk about it, we could get motivated. We could get revved up, ready to go. But are we asking ourselves the right questions while we're revved up, ready to go? Are we asking ourselves the right questions when we're getting motivated? The real questions is what it's actually looking like in your life. Question number 1. What vision are you building for your life right now? It doesn't have to be loud. It doesn't have to be public. But if it matters to you, is it worth building? You have to answer that. Number 2, are you willing to do the quiet work that the vision requires? Are you willing to sit down and actually define it? Then after you define it, are you actually setting up a plan, putting it in motion to build it? And while you're building it, actually live it in real time. The preparation, are we doing it? Are we doing the discipline? Are we building our discipline? And are we showing up consistently every time? The work that happens long before anyone else sees the results, are you willing to do that part? Are you patient enough to stay committed, even when others don't understand? That's the next question I have for you guys. Are you patient enough to stay committed, even when others don't understand it yet? Because the most meaningful visions look chaotic as fuck in the beginning. That's why it's not made for everybody. That's why everybody's questioning you, because half the time they're questioning you because they probably wanted to do it at one point, but was so scared and saw all it was going to take to get to that point, that end result, that they decided against it. And now they're questioning you. Why are they questioning you? Sometimes you got to ask yourself that. Why are they questioning me? Is it because they don't understand it? Or is it because they're talking to me out of fear? The fear that they had to stop them from doing it. We already know. If you don't know, I'm going to tell you right now, this shit is going to be chaotic. It's going to be ghetto. You're going to fall flat on your fucking face. You're going to fail more times than you succeed. But does it matter? Does it matter? Are you going to stay consistent? Are you going to stay committed to the process? People usually understand the vision after the results show up. But can you do that when the results are not even there? When the results are not even that clear? When the results are demanding so much out of you? Can you stay committed? Let's go to question 4. And maybe the biggest question is this. Are you becoming the person that the vision requires? Because the vision isn't about the achievement. It's the growth. We all can achieve certain things. But did we grow along the process? Did we learn along the process? Because we could get to the end result. But if we never grew, that shit's going to come crumbling down. I promise you that. It's only going to last for so long because you didn't grow, you didn't develop, you didn't change. You achieved. Great. Kudos. Hand clap. Power to you. But you didn't grow. Big visions aren't built through loud moments. They're built through quiet commitment. The loudest success stories usually start in the quietest of seasons. And the truth is, everyone wants the results of a big vision. But very few people talk about the quiet work that comes before it. The patience, the discipline, the consistency. That's where real legacy is built. Because when the vision gets bigger, the work has to get quieter. So here it is. When people talk about big visions, they usually focus on the results, the achievements, the milestones, the moments when everything finally becomes visible. But what we talked about today is everything that happens before that moment. The quiet work. The moment when you realize your vision has gotten bigger and the responsibility that comes with it has gone so enormous. With it has gotten bigger and bigger too. The seasons where work becomes quieter, where you're spending less time explaining what you're doing and more time actually building it. The moments where not everyone understands the direction you're moving in yet, but you stay committed to the vision anyways. The discipline it takes to keep showing up, even when the progress isn't obvious. The patience it takes to trust the process when the results haven't caught up to the process. Or the effort yet. Because you're going to put in effort, you're going to put in time, but maybe the results haven't caught up to it yet. And maybe, most importantly, the growth that happens within you while you're building that vision. Because while you're on this journey, the vision is also building you. Let me tell you something. Big visions are rarely built on the loud moments. They're built in the quiet ones. The bigger the vision becomes, the more comfortable you have to get at doing the work nobody sees. And if the vision really matters to you, the quiet work will always be worth it. Because the legacy isn't built in the moments where everyone is watching. It's built in the moments where you stay committed, even when no one is watching. If this episode gave you something to think about, subscribe to Dear Legacy, drop a comment, follow us on social media, and share it with someone who's building their legacy in real time. Till then, go define it, go build it, go live it. It's your boy Kevin B. The Brand. Peace.